right. All right. Let's make sure things are working all right here. Welcome everyone. Welcome. All right. So I just wanted to start off right away and just talk about the stream tonight. And if you guys haven't read the title already, we're going to talk about a new. Well, it's not new, but it's not really known out there as an AI data center play because just like with every other miners, crypto miners, and anything that's remotely related to crypto or mining or both, they have slowly begun to transfer and pivot towards becoming a data center, to operate as a data center for AI, right? AI training, large language models, right? LLMs, and etc. So I wanted to briefly talk about this tonight and again give you guys kind of an insight here as to what I was supposed to talk about yesterday on Monday's daytime live stream when the market was open and I wanted to be live at that point, but something came up, so I was unable to do that. So unfortunately, I'm not able to talk about this when the market's actually live, so that we can also see how current swings are doing when the market is open. But hey, it is what it is. I took care of my stuff, so we're still doing the live tonight. But yeah, I want to go over this specific ticker here and also go over some tickers from this week's list, because all the tickers from this week's list has been doing extremely well. I'm actually surprised how well they're doing this week, since the market's really not it looks like it's trying to potentially top out, but depending on how it closed today, that might change yet again. Right, we're kind of seeing these underlying contradicting, I would say, but maybe if I were to be a little less radical on that perspective, a bit more diverging. Okay, a little bit of a divergence of certain indicators is what's currently occurring in the markets. But yeah, so that's kind of wanted to summarize for you guys for tonight's stream's objective. But yeah, let's start off with Btdr. So this is the crypto miner, this Singaporean-based crypto miner that has pivoted towards operating as an AI data center, and I gave kind of my reasons why we're seeing a lot of this overall pivot in this industry. Because the overall, I'll just give you guys a quick summary. So the overall crypto mining industry has always been it's been scrutinized by short sellers because of the fact that they're so dependent on the overall price of Bitcoin and just overall fees when it comes to mining and etc. and even energy costs, right? We've seen that crypto mining since crypto mining kind of exploded in popularity back in 2015 to 2017 before the crypto winter that began in 2018, if you guys remember that. And they were really scrutinized by governments, by state governments, even just on a federal level as well, and by just overall regular citizens, because they're taking in so much power. But that's actually becoming a significant opportunity for them, because all that spare power that they're not using, or they just have all this power laying around, they can actually use that to convert it towards AI, right? So AI training and large language models, or LLMs, which is what these big tech companies are needing, right? They need the storage of data, they need the computational power, the HPC, right? The high power computation is what they need for these AI systems that they're building. And so these crypto miners are already they already have the AI infra to support that, and this is essentially a great business opportunity for them, and they can stop getting scrutinized by the general public at this point for wasting power when their miners are staying idle, especially when cryptocurrencies face that quote-unquote crypto winter, or when mining fees are very high, and they can actually use a lot of their infrastructure that they have already built specifically for crypto mining and just simply convert it to operate as a data center. And so that's the reason why we're starting to see a lot of these crypto miners shifting, or at least literally doing a 50-50 hybrid business model for themselves as a crypto miner and also as an AI data center and operating as one as well. So you know, a lot of these big companies are starting to invest into these crypto mining companies, or at least taking a big stake into their company, into the company shares, or just financing the current projects that they may have, maybe just by building more crypto miners, or just building more modular designs is what they call it, as the overall AI infrastructure also follows that similar modular design for, you know, GPUs and other systems that they need to power those AI training and LLMs, right? So you know, I think there is a significant opportunity here for both for retail traders and institutional investors, and that's the reason why I've been tracking institutional investors starting to come into and pile into these crypto miner names, and Btdr ended up being one of my scans here that popped up through my scans, and this is a Singaporean crypto mining company that has also switched to that hybrid model. And they're actually trying to become more of an AI data center operator rather than a crypto mining business, because again, it also gives them a hedge against crypto volatility, which we often tend to see. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do see another crypto winter somewhere around mid next year, and these crypto miners won't be troubled by that anymore if they're able to continue to act as an AI data center, and they'll potentially maybe even get more partnerships and collaborations with bigger companies and gain more funding from them to build well, what they already have, right? What they already made so far before, and again, they have experience in building these modular designs with these GPUs and whatever else that they need, especially like even with cooling systems, right? The cooling is also a very significant aspect and part and factor of these miners, and they already have that. So, you know, it's like, for the overall AI industry, they're basically coming to this realization that, hey, wait a second, we don't really need to buy land and buy property and then build these huge AI data centers, when all of these different crypto mining businesses are basically not using a lot of their infrastructure that they have for crypto mining. So they can just, you know, collaborate with them, or have the crypto mining companies lease out part of their power and their infrastructure that they already have to those bigger tech companies that need that type of power, that HPC, right? And overall, just even just the cooling systems, right? They don't need to build all that, because these crypto mining companies already have it. And so all they need to do is, if they need, well, depending on who they collaborate with, all they need to do is provide the funding, right, to build more, if they do need more, to supply more power, more data storage, and more computational power to develop their own AI systems in-house, right? So, you know, this is exactly what Btdr is doing in the AI space in Asia, in Singapore. They're slowly starting to integrate more and more. Well, not even slowly. They're rapidly integrating more of the AI data center operations into their core business model, which is why that quote-unquote hybrid business model is becoming a lot more popular with crypto miners. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see even more other crypto miners based in the US starting to join this trend as well, since we did see wallstbets, right, have that big contract with Google, right? And not wallstbets, sorry, terrible. wallstbets is the crap company that I was talking about a long time ago. All right, I think this is still penny stock, yeah. So TeraWolf was able to get a very good investment and financing. So they got investment and financing from Google. I think it's worth, let's see. yeah, they lifted the stake in TeraWulf with an additional 1.4 billion in backstop. So that's a huge it's a massive deal essentially, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if you see other crypto mining companies trying to garner attention like this, right? That they're getting these huge deals from the other mega cap tech companies that are building their AI and large language models. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if CLSK, right? CleanSpark, I think is the name. Pretty sure. Yeah, CleanSpark also decides to announce a huge deal with someone, right? And even stocks like, again, Btdr is what we're talking about here, right? Btdr may just announce something because, again, the overall technical chart pattern, which is the reason why I chose this as the main swing trade idea for this week's report, is that and I give you guys that overall fundamental analysis as well, because again, the technical chart looks absolutely amazing here, with this very nice macro wedge chart pattern here with a very nice descending resistance trendline and an ascending support trendline as well, and it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and so that binary event is past us, and we won't have to worry too much about any other event other than a possible catalyst of a possible deal from this company with another huge, maybe an Asian tech company out there in that side of the world, and possibly they can get a very large investment like TeraWulf got for themselves through Google's partnership. So Btdr, I would highly recommend you guys to at least watch this one, even if you're not really interested in playing these AI data center plays. I mean, this is relatively a new hybrid model that these crypto miners are switching towards and pivoting towards, which again, I think is a very smart thing to do, since they've always been kind of stuck in this gray area of what to do with their massive AI infrastructure. Well, not AI infrastructure, but their overall infrastructure that now supports AI, which again, I don't think they even realized that until very recently, which is the reason why we're starting to see a lot of these big tech companies also realizing that too, and that they can really just invest into that company and provide more funding if they need to build more infrastructure that, again, these companies are experienced with building such infrastructure, right? These modular designs, they can be very, very quickly made because they're experienced. And again, these overall crypto miners are very, very, very quick with how they built those miners, right? With the GPUs, with the modular designs, and just the overall efficiency that comes with collaborating with these crypto mining businesses and companies will provide a lot more efficiency when it comes to developing AI and large language models for these tech companies, and they don't need to focus on building huge AI data centers as well, right? And again, they also probably don't even need to look to have a more expensive contract with other larger tech companies that are also trying to build data centers, and they can work with these smaller companies and possibly get a lower and less expensive contract as well. So that's another possibility too. So again, lots and lots of opportunities that the AI revolution is currently providing here for a lot of these companies. And again, this is what I've also stated a couple months ago too, that during such revolutions like this with AI, this is going to be the same with quantum computing as well. But AI, this overall AI industry is starting to see a burgeoning of new businesses, new opportunities, especially, for example, like that cooling, right? The cooling systems that are needed for these AI data centers, since they take so much energy, is another business that will most likely pop up. And I'm pretty sure we're about to see some really big companies that are just going to come out solely focused on cooling data centers, right? And even just maybe even just smaller companies that are providing the technology for the cooling systems for companies that are providing cooling systems for the data centers, right? Do you see how it's like an onion, right? When you peel back one layer, there's gonna be even more layers, right? So this is essentially what's happening here with the AI revolution. It's providing new areas of new industries is what I was saying, and possibly more jobs as well, which is what we need, right? So because AI is already killing a lot of jobs, right? So we need some sort of a balance to, or something to balance that out. And I think that's probably what's going to happen in the next 10 years, or at least into the next decade, where we start to see a lot more of a growth of AI related jobs like that. And again, it doesn't just have to be the actual software of the AI or the hardware that's needed. It could just be, again, simply like crypto miners turning into AI data centers, and also companies that are solely operating as a cooling company and providing cooling systems for AI data centers, or again, like I said again before, or companies that are making those cooling systems and selling it to the companies that are operating as companies that provide advanced cooling systems for AI data centers. So again, it's like that that onion analogy that I just gave you guys a couple seconds ago, right? So Btdr here, it's pretty interesting here to see how the price is reacting so far after earnings here. And again, earnings has shown a significant increase in revenue, right? And because the revenue streams have exploded once they began to adopt more of this hybrid model. And with such an increase in revenue, it makes me wonder if they already have a backlog of potential contracts that they will be announcing soon to the public and for the investors. So, you know, I think grabbing some equity in this name might not be a bad idea at all. And you know, if Btdr becomes a significant play in the AI Asia industry, right, or Asian industry, AI Asian industry there, we might be seeing Btdr being a potential big player in that specific area, where they start to provide more of that capacity, that megawatt capacity for AI data centers for bigger tech companies in Asia. And you know, who knows, if Btdr decides to you know, collaborate with big tech companies in China like Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent, what else is there? Let's see, Joy, right? Joyy Inc., like it right here, Joy. What else is there here? PDD, right? There's a big one as well. Yeah, so all these big Chinese tech companies may want to work with the Singaporean-based crypto miner to use their power and their HPC, the overall computational capacity. So you know, there's a lot to think about when it comes to thinking, or at least presuming that there will be some sort of a contract that could potentially be announced and released to the public with Btdr and another big Asian tech company. Okay, but that's the first thing that comes into mind. Chinese companies looking to collaborate with other Asian companies. Most likely they'll look within the domestic area in China. But I know private Chinese companies, even though with all that regulatory crackdowns that are still occurring, I mean, they're not really mainstream anymore on the news, but it's still occurring. They might still look to look outward internationally, and maybe even, again, collaborate with another Asian tech company or crypto mining company like Btdr or Btdr. Okay, hey, what's up, guys? Hello. You guys kind of missed the bulk of what I was talking about here about Btdr and kind of my thoughts on you know, about the crypto mining industry and how they're kind of converting themselves into more of this hybrid model of becoming and operating as an AI data center, and obviously the big tech companies giving them money and financing future projects to building new AI data centers, because again, they have that experience and ability to be very, very quick with how they build AI data centers, and they're very, very similar as built as well. So again, it's a win-win for both sides at this point, since crypto mining, the crypto mining industry has become such an underwhelming business, since they've been so beat up by the 2 crypto winters that we've experienced in the last almost a decade now, right? So this is a very good avenue for them to pivot to, I think this is a revival for the overall crypto mining industry. So I really highly recommend you guys to watch them. Watch any crypto mining company that's popular, or at least popular with retail traders, because I'm sure we'll be seeing some good short squeezes in the near-term future. Maybe even for Btdr as well, even though, again, this is more of an Asian company, so I don't know exactly what will happen with this Singaporean-based company. But again, the first thing that comes to mind is companies potentially collaborating with Btdr here. Okay. Oh, hello. All right. Does that make sense, guys? Awesome. All right. Okay, so now that finishes my first section and first objective for tonight's stream. I want to go over now the tickers from this week's list, which is, let's first start off with TEM, Tempest AI. So this one has been showing extreme strength, and there's a reason why I showed you guys this. I mean, you guys should have read the report first, but if you guys didn't, I don't know how you guys did not yet, since it's Tuesday. Look at this massive base since IPO, right? I mean, this is picture perfect, right? And we saw a bunch of, well, I personally saw a bunch of very, very out the money, long-term call contracts being bought that are in the hundreds, right? It's over 100 here, I believe. Hopefully, I'm not confusing it with the NBIS, since I also saw similar call buying in that name. Let's see here. You know what? Let me actually give you guys. Yeah. Yep. So this one is seeing a lot of good call activity on the triple-digit strike contracts, which is interesting and intriguing here, because again, if this huge base, macro base breaks out, guys, I mean, that's gonna be a very impulsive breakout. Does that make sense, guys? So just focus on the bigger picture here on this one. Show me some reactions in the chat if that made sense, guys. Okay, perfect. Hey, what's up, guys? Oh, we have 20 people in here. Hello, hello. Okay. Alright, so this is a pretty self-explanatory chart here, and I've also shown this exact same chart in the report, so please read that again. Right. And next, the second one on the list was TSLA, and look at this. What a nice close today, right? So we've officially broken out this very tight consolidation, this descending resistance trend line above 341, right? So this is the official entry point for this week, and obviously the official breakout entry point is going to be over 355, since that is the official horizontal resistance level that we need to be looking out for that official break that could provide a very impulsive breakout to the next target at 380. And I believe I talked about Tesla multiple times in the past as well, like months ago, and I've given you guys these same levels here: 315, 355, and 380. Okay, so you guys should have these three same levels on your weekly and daily time frame charts. All right, so pretty self-explanatory here again, right? I put this in the list for the same reasons as TEM. Very good relative strength, very good momentum. Last Friday, it had a very massive bullish candlestick, just like with every other tech stock out there, since last Friday we had this massive move up in the markets. But what actually got my attention even yesterday was that it continued to move up, right? Even with lower volume compared to last Friday, but the overall daily volume is still elevated compared to the overall average daily volume, right? So obviously today we didn't see that, but it's still a third straight up day, and tomorrow we're most likely going to retest 355 and then stall out around here. Okay, and that's fine as long as we tightly consolidate under 355. I mean, I have no problem with that, and we can possibly even break out over 355 by the end of this week, depending on how we move and how the market closes as well. But I'll let you guys know that it was very significant for Tesla today to close above 350, since 350 to 355 is a significant, very significant supply area that has been a huge caveat for bulls here, and it's been a huge pain in the butt for bulls to try to get over 355. So closing above 350 seriously tells us something, that there has been a character change, there's been a trend change as well, and an overall sentiment change as well, since the overall sentiment has been pretty much neutral for the last 3 months, right? So I mean, we've been just consolidating, and we just reached that tipping point, that point of where the prices become way too tight, where it has to break out one way or the other. And fortunately for us, in a nice favorable manner, it has made a nice big move up to the upside. Okay, so again, focus on these 3 levels, right? I've been talking about these 3 levels for the last 3 months. Okay, again, 355 over this level, it'll be a very impulsive move and probably a very quick move to 380. Okay, this 350 to 355, this 5-point range supply level has been a huge caveat for bulls. But now that we've actually closed above it today by closing at 351.67, that should provide a bit more of a reason for long-term bulls to come back in, and even just short-term traders to want to trade this name again, since it has returned back to its more volatile normalcy, right? Since Tesla has been so tight for the last 3 months. Does that make sense, guys? Let me see those reactions, or at least a nice like down below if you guys haven't liked the stream yet. All right, I see it there. Awesome. What's up, guys? Hello. And last but not least, okay, the last ticker in this week's CFO Swinger Watch Report's list was Bros. I mean, look at this. Amazing. Really good breakout on Monday, over 68.50, and it's now retesting 72.50. And it was absolutely on point too. So because the high of this week and the high of today was 72.50. All right, so we really retested this weekly resistance level to a T, and I also wouldn't mind, just like with Tesla, if it rejects down a little bit tomorrow and it decides to close underneath 72.50 by the end of this week. But then again, if it doesn't do that, if it doesn't decide to take a little rest underneath this resistance level and it just absolutely blows to the upside, that would be great as well. Okay, but just like with TEM, Tesla, huge macro base here, right? Well, this base is obviously a very nice very nice wedge, just like with Tesla, and it just broke out of this descending resistance trend line, and so we had this converging horizontal resistance level sitting at 72.50. And so if we're able to break over this by this week, end of this week, then hey, by next week this should be continuously moving up higher. All right, but again, we're starting to see kind of this trend where this rotation of money here, where we're starting to see these previous leaders like Bros and Tesla, they're starting to get a more inflow of money, while we saw a lot of tech leaders like specific SaaS names, right? So software as a service names becoming absolutely battered to the ground, and I think that money outflow has come back into these previous market leaders that have been lagging for months and months, and hopefully we can continue to see this, since again this overall list has been absolutely on point this week, and hopefully we can see all 3 tickers continuously moving in that favorable manner, as I've already discussed in the report, for each and every single ticker here from the list. All right, And again, I just want to give you guys this sneak peek of the entire tickers from this week's report, because I really want to give you guys a little bit of an appetizer as to what's in this week's report if you're not a reader of the CFO Swinger Watch Report. But if you guys want to become a reader, and obviously if you guys become a reader, as I've said many times before in these streams, you guys will be automatically added into the private CFO Discord community and given full access to the private CFO Discord community when you become a reader of the CFO Swinger Watch Report. Okay, so if you guys are interested in that, or at least curious about it, please head down below to the description box and look at the second link shown down below. Okay, it's the second link. All right, and you guys can click on it, look at it for more information. But again, if you guys have any questions, or if you guys want to see if there's any discount codes that are waiting for you to be claimed and redeemed, make sure you guys DM me on Instagram at chartsfocus1. Again, my handle is at chartsfocus1, and if you guys don't know how to spell it, well, it's on this channel. You guys are on this channel, so you guys should be able to see the name. All right. So hopefully you guys can become a reader, and hopefully I can see you guys in the Discord as well once you guys join. I can guarantee you guys won't regret it, as always. But yeah, this Btdr, I really hope that you guys can add this to your own watch lists, and all the other 3 tickers that we just went over tonight, TEM, TSLA, and BROS. They're all doing extremely great, and Btdr obviously is still doing exactly what I expected it to do. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if you guys are saying, hey, it didn't really move, well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So I provided a specific advanced multi-legged option strategy as well, based on how it's currently moving and how it could possibly move in the future as well. So if you guys want to know what that is, make sure you guys become a reader tonight, and you guys will have full access to this week's CFO Swinger Watch Report and full access to the private CFO Discord community. All right, you will see better results in your trading, and you guys will see better ideas that you may not have seen before, you might have been struggling with. You guys will be able to have better ideas and even better patience because of the specific stock selection that I always do for each and every single weekly report. All right, and again, why do I say that you might have better patience? Because the names that I choose require the patience, right? I see a lot of people always having no patience for their ideas because they're too, focused on every single tick, every single price action on every single intraday time frame, because they're not looking at the bigger picture. They're not looking at what is in the bigger picture, in the bigger picture time frames like the daily, weekly, or even the monthly, which is what I've shown you even on TEM with the weekly and monthly, right? Okay, I mean, this is really looking good. Even Tesla as well on the monthly. Look at that, right? Even Bros. So all 3 tickers from the this week's MM list. All right, really good charts all across the MM list for this week. Okay, even Btdr looks great on the monthly time frame as well, right? The bigger picture time frames. Okay. All right. So with that being said, hopefully this week's well, this was supposed to be yesterday, but this week's CFO Swinger Watch Report's live stream was very helpful. And for any of the people who are not part of the CFO Swinger Watch Report, hopefully I can see you guys tonight by becoming a reader. And hopefully this stream gave you guys an idea as to what you guys could possibly be looking at, watching out for this, or actually for the rest of this trading week. All right. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you guys for the likes. Wow, we almost had 30 people in here tonight. Thank you guys so much for even joining and staying through, if you guys did. But yeah, I'll see you guys hopefully on Thursday night. And yeah, have a great rest of your night and good luck tomorrow.